earlier. So, on behalf of PhD Chamber, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Professor Tanuja Manoj Nesari, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayurveda, Government of India. I would also like to welcome our today's eminent speaker for the discussion, Professor Anup Thakur, who is there in the IPGTRA Jamnagar University, and Dr. Anurag Gupta, who is with Baidyanath Ayurved Bhavan Private Limited. We also have with us Dr. Santosh Joshi, who is co-chair of AYUSH Committee and Senior General Manager at Hamdard Laboratories, India. And in today's session, he is going to act as a moderator. He is going to, Mr. Vivek Saigal is going to act as a moderator, and he is working as Assistant Secretary General at PhD Chamber. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Chamber has been working as a catalyst for the promotion of Indian industry, trade and entrepreneurship for the past 117 years. It is a forward-looking, proactive and dynamic pan-India apex organization. As a partner in progress with industry and government, PhD Chamber, with a special focus on MSMEs and large companies, reaches out to 150,000 businesses. It works at the grassroots level with strong national and international linkages for propelling progress, harmony, and integration, development to the Indian economy. The term traditional medicine describes the total sum of knowledge, skill, and practices indigenous and different cultures have been used over time to maintain health and to prevent, diagnose, and treat physical and mental illnesses. Its reach encompasses ancient practices such as acupuncture, Ayurvedic medicine, and herbal mixtures, as well as modern medicines. Traditional medicine has been an integral resource for health for centuries in communities around the world. And it is still a mainstay for some with inequities in access to conventional medicine. The socio-cultural practice and biodiversity heritage of Indian traditional medicine are invaluable resource to evolve inclusive, diverse, sustainable development. Traditional medicine is also a part of growing trillion-dollar global health, wellness, beauty, and pharmaceutical industries. Around 80% of world population is estimated to use traditional medicines, such as herbal medicine, acupuncture, yoga, indigenous therapies, and other systems of medicines. This Global Knowledge Center for Traditional Medicines aims to harness the potential of traditional medicine for across the world through modern science and technology to improve the health of people and the planet. Our government has been tireless in its endeavor to make preventive and curative healthcare affordable and accessible to all. The Global Center at Jamnagar will definitely help in providing the best healthcare solution to the world. Traditional medicine is also increasingly prominent in the world of modern science. There has been a rapid modernization of the ways traditional medicine is being studied. Artificial intelligence is now used to map evidence and trends in traditional medicine and to screen natural products for pharmacokinetic properties. The new WHO Center will be established in Jamnagar, Gujarat in India. While Jamnagar will serve as the hub, the new center is being designed to engage and benefit all regions of the world. The new center also focuses on the 4 main strategic areas: evidence and learning, data and analytics, sustainability and equity, innovation and technology, to optimize the contribution of traditional medicine to global health and sustainable development. On behalf of PhD Chamber, I once again welcome you all and seek your active participation on this important occasion. So I would like to add few sentences, or you can say few paragraphs from my personal side also. So this is one of the historical event which is going to happen in the field of Ayurveda, and certainly it is going to have a very big impact on the Ayurveda. And very less of us know that Ayurveda is not well recognized across the globe. It is recognized as a herbal medicine, but other than SAARC countries, very less countries are recognizing Ayurveda as such as a system of medicine. So certainly this global center of AYUSH in Jamnagar is going to generate a big opportunity for the industry and for the Ayurveda also because Ayurveda is going to have a global recognition, and industries are going to have a permission for the business across the globe. So this is certainly a big historical event, and this system of medicine, which is supposed to be observational system of medicine and no scientific data. A lot of people have all the time data that the scientific data is lacking in this system of medicine. So the main the focus area of this center will be to generate the data for the evidence-based medicine, and they will generate the data for the safety and efficacy of different products. So I would like to communicate here one of my points, that the quality of medicines are also going to play a very vital role during the establishment of the evidence-based data for the safety and efficacy evaluation. That because before going for any kind of safety and efficacy evaluation, the quality of the medicine is very much important, and it is required to be established in very serious terms. Another thing which is very much important is that the back-end propagation and cultivation of the right and genuine raw material is very important, that which is going to be very much important because during the propagation and globalization of AYUSH, a lot of requirement of the raw material will be there. And the current fact is that that a lot of genuine raw material with right standard is not available to the industry. Another thing which I would like to highlight here, that how to proceed in this area, because most of the modern science they just want to have the bioactives in the any kind of medicine, and they want to establish the safety and efficacy of these bioactives only, whereas the Ayurveda is just considering the holistic approach, and they want to consider that the as such the holistic total raw material is going to have the impact on the elements, any elements. So the modern science only consider the bioactives, and they want to consider the safety and efficacy of the bioactives. And another thing, how we are going to proceed with our fundamentals of Vat, Pitta, Kaph when we are going to adopt the modern science as for establishing the evidences for the safety and efficacy. What about our Ahar and Dincharya, Ritcharya, how we can establish these kind of systems in the global centers fundamentals, how we can establish them, as, whether is there any opportunity to establish them as a preventive therapy or not. So these kind of things are very much important, and I think the faculty members who are there with different Ayurvedic academic institutes, especially in the branches like Sharir Rachna, Sharir Kriya, Vikriti Vigyan, Kaya Chikitsa, and Ras Shastra, Dravyagun Vigyan are going to have very important role. Simultaneously, the role of Ayurvedic industry will be very much important, and I think the Ayurvedic industry will wholeheartedly ready to support any kind of help if it is required from their end. So with these words, I will sum up my my speech, and I will hand over this dais to Vivek ji and Dr. Ravi for further progression in the program. So thank you, and welcome again to all the participants and speakers, and the Professor Tanuja ma'am. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your inputs on the topic and setting the diets. You have rightly said it's a historical moment, and it will create an historic impact in the history of Ayurveda and Indian traditional medicine. I hope the center will serve as a mark for the potential, showing the potential of traditional medicine all over the world, and it will definitely make the Indian traditional medicine recognized all over the world. Thank you so much, sir, for setting the dais. Now, I'd like to request Dr. Santosh Joshi, the co-chair of our AYUSH committee and Senior General Manager, R&D at Hamdard Laboratories, India, for sharing your remarks, sir. Over to you, sir. You are on mute, sir.
Am I audible? Thanks and good afternoon to all. Today's chief guest, Honorable Manoj Nesriji, Advisor Ayurveda, Ministry of AYUSH. Guest of honor, Dr. Tanuja Nesriji, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda, Ministry of AYUSH. All senior team members of PhD Chamber of Commerce. Today's leadership team members, Rajiv Rai, Chair AYUSH Committee, all respected participants. It is appreciable that today we are here to discuss one of the important topic, that is importance of WHO Global Center for Traditional Medicine in growth of AYUSH sector. Having this global center is a matter of proud for all AYUSH stakeholders. We all appreciate the tremendous efforts of our AYUSH ministry under leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji for establishing this center in India. Now it is responsibility of all stakeholders to further utilize this resource and popularize AYUSH system of medicine throughout the world. WHO is working with a mission to ensure access to safe and effective treatment to all people around the globe. And this new center will help to utilize science for strengthening the evidence base for further establishing safety and efficacy of traditional medicines, which are considered mostly safe, but scientific data has to be generated. We are already prepared for this as most of the AYUSH manufacturers, especially those who are aiming global market, are establishing facilities as per international norms. The main and the most important the work which I feel we have to do is we have to convince the regulatory experts to accept the ASU drugs, AYUSH Siddha and Unani drugs in its original form. As currently for WHO COPP certification, there is a need to submit a declaration that the formulation should not contain any mineral ingredient into it. Only herbal ingredient should be present. Such restrictions force us to amend the formula as several potent medicines are combinations of herbo-mineral ingredients. Further restrictions on certain plant species for international trade as well as use of endangered species are another challenge area for export of certain formulations. We can aim for promoting medicinal medical tourism and enabling treatment of patients from various countries with our original concepts of Ayurveda and Unani, and documentation of such treatment outcomes for establishing evidences, and that will create confidence of regulatory bodies for such herbo-mineral formulations, and WHO will further means accept such formulations as most of the Unani formulations, and in Ayurveda also several formulations uses such combination treatment. We all know that COVID-19 has been a game changer for traditional system of medicines, and the practice of AYUSH medicines has become more popular during the pandemic time. The public has actively sought non-pharmaceutical and self-management approaches through traditional complementary and integrative medicines during COVID time. We all know that the choices which were made during this crisis period may help and shape the world for decades to come. Ayush medicines, especially Ayurveda and Unani, are always considered for promotive, preventive, curative, and rehabilitative healthcare with holistic approach. And it is the right time when we have to take this age-old treasure of natural medicines globally and utilize this opportunity. I would just like to express that there is a requirement of more focused and advanced pharmacology-based research on AYUSH system of medicines for development of new formulations and generate scientific evidence of safety and efficacy of AYUSH medicines, which are already being used since long time. AYUSH medicines are generally customized to an individual's constitution by employing a unique holistic approach, and drug development from traditional knowledge can follow a reverse pharmacology path, and we can reduce time and cost of development, because this is the area where we have to focus if we have to become global. New technologies like automated separation techniques, high throughput screening, and combinatorial chemistry, which are transforming the drug discovery program worldwide, has to be adopted in AYUSH sector also. And drug target elucidation and lead structure discovery are expected to take place mainly from innovation in AYUSH sector. Traditional knowledge of AYUSH will serve as a powerful search engine, and most importantly will greatly facilitate focused and safe natural products research to rediscover the drug discovery process. I feel this is the area where we have to focus, and already our leading institutions and leading AYUSH industries are working on it, which will make AYUSH system more acceptable globally as a choice of therapy for good health. It is pertinent to mention here that due to lack of cure for chronic diseases, the side effects of conventional medicines, various countries are now looking toward traditional Ayurvedic system of or Unani system of treatments to restore wellness. Our scientific approach has reflected when several clinical trials were conducted on wide scale on Unani, Ayurveda, and Siddha formulations, which have shown encouraging results, especially for COVID-19 prophylaxis. We have to integrate this age-old science with modern science and artificial intelligence. One big challenge which needs immediate attention, as Rajiv Raiji has also told, that all stakeholder is conservation of rare plant species, which is depleting due to unorganized trade and over exploitation due to increased demand. This is resulting in unethical practices of adulteration, substitution, deletion, and use of alternate herbs. Measure has to be taken on urgent basis, as we have to meet the global demand and we are targeting bigger volumes of market. We at Hamdard Laboratories India are the largest Unani drug manufacturer. Also, we are having Ayurvedic and pharma product range, and we are looking forward to work in close coordination with all stakeholders of AYUSH to take this mission ahead. And for this, Hamdard Laboratories India is already investing more than 200 crore to establish a state-of-art manufacturing facility and research center. We are also establishing wellness centers across India for propagating traditional Unani and Ayurvedic systems. Hamdard has also established Hamdard Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, a modern medicine education center, which is playing a vital role in scientific evaluation of traditional knowledge base of Ayurveda and Unani. We have also conducted clinical trial in this medical college. We are confident that this global center of traditional medicine will be supportive in making AYUSH a global medical choice. So with these submissions, I would like to conclude. Thanks for allowing me to share my views. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind remarks. Uh, you have rightly said the center will provide the evidence to our traditional system of medicine, and we will definitely take up the details you have shared with the regulators about accepting the Ayush drugs in its original forms. Uh, as you have rightly said, it's the right time to use, and we can say it's an opportunity for the Ayush industry with a global WHO Global Trade Center to mark a presence of Ayush industry at a global level. You have rightly said the innovations in this time, technology and innovations play a pivotal role in the growth of the industry. Either you can say it's an Ayush or a health industry. So Ayush sector also needs to explore these uh, initiatives and these new innovations and technology in the R&D also. We also congratulate Hamdard for a huge R&D facility, as you have mentioned, sir. Thank you so much for your kind remarks. Now I'd like to request Dr. Anurag Gupta, the manager at Baidyanath Ayurved Bhavan Private Limited, for your kind remarks on the topic, sir. Over to you, sir. You are on mute, sir.
Now I'm audible. Thank you very much for inviting. I would like to congratulate the PhD chamber to inviting me and organizing such a interactive session on such a vital topic, which is on the heat after the inauguration at ITRA Jamnagar and after the validation of the function at Ahmedabad. Definitely, it will develop many new opportunities in the field to do the things. What I would like to submit here, just we can understand that it is the only and first global center which is been given to the India. So it is also an opportunity apart from the responsibility also, and the responsibility also goes to the South Asian countries also, which is the who are the main hub of the traditional medicine. So we should capitalize this in other ways also. My submissions regarding the development of the things are that authentication of the therapies is also needed apart from the pharmaceutical part, because the validation of the therapies is still pending. Most of the clinical part is being explored, but the therapies, how they work, what is the mode of action of the drug, anything, other things are also need to have more research on these and data generation, so that the validation of the thing can be done. Validation of herbo mineral drugs, although there is a good acceptance of the herbal drugs, but the herbo mineral or pure mineral drugs are still not accepted as the drug in the worldwide market. So we need to, or this global center need to develop the validation or the processes for the standard development of such drugs also, so they can be exported or market can be explored. There is a need of validation of Ayurvedic practitioners also, because Ayurvedic practitioners are not being allowed, or other therapist practitioners are not being allowed to practice in other countries. So need of the hour is that practitioners are also given to the aura of the other countries also, so they can get recognized themselves in the other countries and get the practice there also. Promotion of the medicinal plant cultivation is in need of the hour. Apart from the tissue culture kind of the technique can also be can also be introduced, because many times the root or other things are being used, and using a root as a raw material for of a tree is cutting a tree for a simple root. So tissue culture will help generating the bark of the roots or any such plants which are being cutted for the generation of that raw material. One more thing, the training of the Ayush graduates which are being graduated or being awarded as a medical degree, to the hybridization of the knowledge, means they should be trained in the biomedical sciences or biochemical or biophysical sciences also, so that the exploration of the basic principles of these therapies, traditional medicines or the Ayurveda can be explored, and the research which is being done on the bioactives only can be transferred to the other things also. Apart from this, new research system can be developed, which is harvesting who will be harvesting the thrive of the knowledge from the stored eras. One more side point which I would like to highlight here, because I'm from Ayurveda background, the fundamentals of Ayurveda can also be validated, because as Rajiv Rai sir has rightly said it, that still many things are being worked on the Vat, Pitta and Kapha, but there is no physical entity in name of the Vat and Pitta and Kapha which can be identified and can be metered on a device. So there is a huge scope in the device sector of the Ayush industries also. With these words, I would like to conclude myself. Thank you for giving.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anurag, for sharing your inputs. You have rightly said validation is the prime importance thing, either it is a product or service you are sharing, as you are dealing with the human life also. Validation is very much important for making, it's also important for marking our presence all over the world. As you have rightly said, validation of the Ayush practitioners and the training of the Ayush graduates to explore the principles of Ayush therapy and the research transfer is the need of the hour. Thank you so much for your inputs, Dr. Anurag Gupta. I'd like to welcome Professor Tanuja Manoj Nesri, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. She has joined with us. Welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, if you can switch on your camera, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining. Ma'am, just like to introduce, we have joined by Dr. Rajiv Rai, the chair of our AYUSH committee and head research, Dabur India Limited. We are also joined by Dr. Santosh Joshi, the co-chair of our AYUSH committee and senior general manager R&D at Hamdard Laboratories, and Dr. Anurag Gupta, the manager from Baidyanath Ayurved Bhavan Private Limited. Uh, Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and presence. We have already discussed some of the points during the discussion for the importance of WHO Global Trend Center, which was inaugurated, how it can help the Ayush industry mark a global presence. With regards to the same, ma'am, I'd like to request yourself for your kind remarks, please, on the same. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. At the outset, I would like to thank PhD Chamber, Vivek Segalji, and all the esteemed members of the panelists, Dr. Anurag Gupta ji, Rajiv Rai ji, Santosh Joshi ji, Amit Patwal ji, and all the esteemed members who have joined in this very important discussion. I was also listening to the discussion. And this is really what we can say very proactively. We are also discussing how the industry can participate and how industry would be benefited, and how it would help for the growth of AYUSH sector. As we see the presence of WHO GCTM, Global Center for Traditional Medicine, first of its kind in India. And I must say that it's really proud feeling that it is not the one of the many, but it is जैसे UN का जो WHO का only of its kind, the first and only of its kind center. That's really a maybe our the proud feeling for us, and it is because of our honorable Prime Minister और WHO DG जिनसे कहा कि उनके प्रयास से, महत प्रयास से ये जामनगर में बना. The reason is that Jamnagar already is the university, and there is a tradition most last 50 years से भी ज़्यादा एक ecosystem वहाँ पे है. वहाँ पे already जितने कई सारे global leaders in Ayurved and Ayush वो वहाँ से बाहर they have given the leaders. हमारे present secretary भी गुजरात आयुर्वेद यूनिवर्सिटी से ही है, and there are many others who are from Jamnagar. So now the center is not only for the indigenous system of India, which I know as a member of the GCTM is, but it is जैसे कि आयुष ये इंडिया की indigenous system है, आयुर्वेदा, यूनानी, सिद्ध, होम्योपैथी. So in the member countries of WHO, more than 173 countries, they have the traditional medicine of their own, indigenous system for their own. तो ये कई सारी चीजें, there are many things which are there is a harmony many, and it is not only the products but the products and services, like it is therapy, oral medication, there are practices, and the medicines and the products, medicinal plant and the products also. And in various countries like Japan has their own Congo medicine, Korea, Chinese medicine also has. In many countries it is only the practice. In many countries it is only folklore based, like medicinal plants or some healing practices are being done. But as in India, we are blessed to have the healthcare system, complete system, and we have the Ministry of Ayush, as we have 700,000, 7 lakh practitioners, 9,000, almost 8,700 manufacturing unit as Aushad, and we have the paramedical staff, drug as a medicine, as a regulated by Drug and Cosmetic Act, and we have AHAR now coming up as through a PHDCCI as a AHAR regulation. So it is a healthcare system which is very well protected by our country law. Regulatory bodies are there established, and the system is down penetrated through the NAM, through various dispensaries also. The same is in few countries like China and in Japan. So in few countries it is a healthcare system is established. So considering all those heterogeneous presence of the traditional medicine across the world, what WHO mentioned that all those member countries to just first thing is collating, survey, compilation, collating and preparing a database. Because for suppose they had suggested one area which is of interest to everyone as a like backache. So for backache, what each and every system offers, and begin to everything to at one places, what is the evidence created in that area by the traditional system, how it has been helped in a complementing to the conventional medical system, and how we can bring to the mainstream medicine of individual countries. That is number one thing. So the main mandate is providing, creating evidence to the traditional wisdom. So it should be classical yet contemporary tradition supported with technology. That was the one broad mandate. But it will take some more time to bring everything on one plate and have the one coordination cell it was required, and that's what the GCTM is. But the what it should do, even though if it is compiled, collated together, database is maintained, documentation, meta-analysis of all the evidences which are created, published in the journal, that was the one mandate. But the most important mandate of this is, what is the WHO's work plan 2013, and now it is traditional medicine strategy is for 2023. So they WHO also, according to the work plan, WHO has a 3 billion target, like creating all the 1 billion 1 billion people across the globe should have the holistic well-being. Then 1 billion people should be saved from going to the emergency, that like we have witnessed in the COVID also, and 1 billion people should have the food security. So these were the targets. These are the targets. So how this traditional medicine will contribute to meeting the target of the WHO. So vision, mission of the WHO, how the traditional medicine strength can be utilized, can be complemented, and can be used to meet the WHO's vision mission document. And ultimately, it is a universal sustainable development goal, as the holistic well-being, food security, mother and child care, bringing the child and mother mortality low, then environment, sustainability, net zero target. So all these goals, and what really, because what I can witness as a first hand, that we had an opportunity, and we had been honored to have WHO DG Dr. Tedros Adhanom having visited to All India Institute of Ayurveda. And in his tweet, he mentioned that I can see All India Institute of Ayurveda as a model for and visualizing the dream of the GCTM coming true in India itself. There is a one model still exists, which is giving the support, providing the technology and the evidence basis to the traditional science. Because tertiary care hospital in traditional medicine, it is something which was not really thought of by any WHO and any of the senior officials. So WHO GCTM's main mandate is to create this visionary document and the evidence basis, bringing all together and then again translating into the community and public health to meet SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, and WHO's vision mission. So this is all broad area, documentation, analysis, meta-analysis, and then translating again to the main community health of respective countries and how we complement to the WHO. So in this, I think industry being in India, AYUSH will definitely have the leadership role, because the interim office is being set up in Jamnagar, and in India AYUSH ministry will also have the leading role in establishing WHO GCTM, even though the director and all these officers will be appointed through WHO, and the secondment also may be considered. But what important is that as across the globe, if the export is to be promoted, everywhere the research and the evidence basis is being demanded, even for the different countries regulatory to meet different regulations, regulatory requirements, even EU GMP and MHRA approval. Also, even NVISA, we need to have developed drug development, and the quality, safety, efficacy benchmarks are to be met as per the requirement of the different regulatory bodies across the globe. So when this ecosystem is being created within India for creating evidence to our traditional wisdom, so the quality, safety and efficacy, that would definitely be elevated, because when we compare each and every system on the same benchmark where entire world wants it for the benefit of the humanity, so 100% industry definitely will be benefited. We have to really work towards that for creating the evidences and the documents, the manufacturing processes and the finished product, and maybe clinical trials, safety and quality that maybe need to address. So even the domestic market and the international market, it is a good opportunity, wonderful opportunity for us. The only thing is that we really have to focus on the strength of our own system for the non-communicable diseases, for the stress disorders, and some areas, not all, like in COVID, we saw that prevention is our strength. So holistic well-being, maternal mortality, children mortality, if industry works towards that, bring out the evidence-based products, I think opportunity is huge. There is an ocean of opportunity, and sky is the limit now for us. With this, I really once again congratulate the PhD Chamber for organizing such a thoughtful, visionary seminar. So where, and it's a proactive approach of the PhD Chamber and industry, how we can boost up. So we really have to focus on our strength. That is the tagline. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your wisdom with us. You have rightly said the Indian traditional medicine have proven its role during the COVID pandemic, and the inauguration of the WHO Trade Center is indeed a proud moment for India and the AYUSH industry to take the AYUSH in the mainstreaming also. It will also provide the ecosystem to explore the wisdom of traditional medicine system. You have rightly said, ma'am, the sky is the limit for AYUSH industry. Thank you so much for your kind words, ma'am. I would like to request the delegates, if they have any questions. We are open for the question answer with the eminent panelists. I would also like to request the chair and co-chair of the AYUSH committee to share their views with regards to the madam's comments on the role of WHO Center in the growth of AYUSH sector. And if you have your own questions, sir, over to you, sir.
I just would like to add here, it would not be any directly control under the control of Ministry of AYUSH or WHO CRO. It would be directly under the control of the headquarters in Geneva. So all these, the members and everyone would be appointed, regulated and monitored by WHO, because there was a great meaning of giving name Tulsi Bai to WHO DG. And when during the discussion, informal discussion, when Modi ji mentioned that I am Gujarati and Health Minister mentioned I am Gujarati, he said I am also Gujarati. The meaning is that he said that I have given my baby to Gujarat to nurture it, and he mentioned to Chief Minister that this is WHO's baby, we are giving it to you to nurture and to in its own vision. So this is the vision. So it is in under the WHO's control, but in India. But we really have direct and indirect benefit of elevating our benchmark in the international market. That is what I can want to reiterate.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, madam, for giving us the insights of this center. But I would like to know your inputs for few of the points which I am going to put here again. That how they are going to proceed with their job, whether they are going to select the raw material or they are going to select the compound formulation, and whether the formulation or the raw material will be selected will be totally focused with the non-communicable diseases only, or there will be some area of the communicable disease also, and how they are going to check the efficacy of the raw material of the compound formulation, whether they are going to search for the bioactives and their efficacy and mode of action, you can say pharmacokinetics and dynamics. Are we going to incorporate any kind of Ayurvedic fundamental also, like the Tridosa, Panchmahabhut and Sapdhatu, etc., or we are totally going to be governed by the modern science only? And a few other things will be there, that are we going to incorporate our Ayurvedic Ahar, Dincharya, Pranayam, Yoga, Ritucharya as a preventive therapy also in these protocols or in evaluations? So we'd like to have your inputs, ma'am, because you must be having some primary knowledge about these, that how they are going to proceed in these areas.
Actually, this is $1 million question all of us have, because this interim office will develop first of all the roadmap for the future actual GCTM. The job role of the director who will be appointed there to create the roadmap, the vision document. This is a broad vision, is that, but what I know is that because it is like you mentioned, Dinacharya, Ritucharya, Dosha, Panchamahabhut, this is the theory of Ayurveda. Unani has different, Chinese medicine has a meridian, yin and those energies, and different system has different fundamental principles, theory and practices. So now this is, if we select one area as a backache, so what each and every system has to offer for the backache, including products as a raw material, including raw material, all formulations. Like we know how many formulations are for the backache in India for Ayurveda. But it is not only Ayush, traditional medicine system will look into that. Traditional medicine center, global center will look for 173 traditions across the globe. And for backache, they will collect what is used for the backache in their traditional medicine. And what is the classically written will not be more important. More important would be for the experience basis, what is the evidence which is created in the public domain, what are the published paper, what is the evidence which is created with the benchmark document. And then we have the technology, AI ML based, that is artificial intelligence, machine learning. So all the dots will be connected. Suppose the backbone backache is on the center. So each system 173 will be plotted. So it may be our yoga, it may be our physiotherapy, it may be our dinacharya, ritucharya, panchakarma, all the medicines, and everywhere it would. And then there would be a network formology, which is a common, which is more dominant, which is more significant, which is providing the best one. And that standard treatment protocol will be developed, which can be integrated with the conventional medicine and which can be disseminated to different countries. The task is huge. So it is immediately, nothing is like in research mode, laboratory setup, nothing is immediately to be coming up as I will be immersed. The setup would be most traditional. There is no deviation.
Madam, you've got muted.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's.
Oh, sorry. So I just mentioned that nothing is, first of all, there is a compilation of all those best practices across the globe. So what is the best practice in Chinese medicine, Korean medicine, and 173 countries? Ayush is one thing, like Dinacharya, Yoga, Then there would be principal theory and practices. It would be panchakarma. It would be medicinal plants, products, what industry is using for many thousands, hundreds of years. So best practices of each system would be collected on one selected area, and few areas will be selected in the initial, like backache and lifestyle disorders and many which are of the need. And for that, through AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning, all the dots would be connected. And it is not only AYUSH system. We have 173 traditional medicines which would be plotted against one area. And that through AI ML, this document would be created, then the meta-analysis will be there. And out of the best practice, what is the best of the best? That treatment protocol will be developed. That would be again translated to individual countries and to WHO. So task is used. It is immediately, nothing is next month, nothing is going to come up. It is just first of all deciding the roadmap. That will only take some days, and that interim office will decide. But 100% AI based machine learning will be used, artificial intelligence will be used for collecting the best practices of 173 countries. That
Thank
is
you, madam.
evidence-based practice.
So thank you, madam. Certainly, by using the AI and in silico analysis, we can conclude upon the best adapted practices. I will also like to know that how they are going to establish this efficacy part, whether they are going to check the mode of action, and even they are going to detect for the bioactives like these kind of compounds also, or just by following the existing Ayurvedic route, which is in most of the academic colleges like that. They are just providing the medicine to different patients, and they are doing the clinical, and they are collecting the data, and they are assessing the drug on the modern parameters without knowing the bioactives. So this route will be adopted, or some approximated route?
Actually, this time will tell us. Time will tell us, because the interim office, the roadmap is to be yet to be developed, and that will yet to be published in the public domain. So time will tell us what will happen. But the only thing is, first step is survey, documentation, meta-analysis of all the already existed evidences. That is first step, that is for sure. And the second step will be finding out the evidence-based practices, creating evidence, research mode, whether WHO itself will do the research or promote the research through, usually it is done through WHO collaborating centers. So there are various WHO collaborating centers across the globe. The research would be conducted only through WHO collaborating centers. That is what the practices WHO has so far. So it would be same vertical under WHO for the traditional medicine. So it would be followed as per the WHO existing best practices.
Thank you, madam. So initially they will sort out the best adapted practices from different traditional medicines.
Yes.
And further, they will evaluate the best selected option, and will go for the deeper analysis and investigation.
Yes. So what we proactively should do, we really have to publish best practices in AYUSH proactively into public domain, more publication, creating more evidences. What is already published, that meta-analysis, that needs to be communicated. So we really have to come forward proactively. It is not only in India, WHO center exists. So that does not mean that AYUSH would have the upper hand. We really have to have more evidences and the robust practices. That is the only answer.
So, madam, do we still have the time for this kind of activity? As I know that artificial intelligence will certainly pick up the data from the data which is available on the internet. So, but do you think that still we have the Ayurveda and other system of therapy which are there in India, like Unani and Siddha, have still the time to publish, and they can be captured by the artificial?
Yes, we have 700 institutions. We really, industry should come forward to have industry academia collaborations. Even the short review projects. So we really have to adopt industry academia collaboration definitely this is the way ahead for the creating the evidence-based practices.
So thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Professor Tanuja Nesriji, for that brilliant discussion, and of course, awareing our members and the industry about the importance of this new center which has come up at Jamnagar. Truly very, very reflecting. I request Ravi to take the session forward.
Yes, sir. We do have two more questions with us. What are the benefits of Dr. Lingareddy Birdar have asked? What are the benefits of GCTM to Ayurveda education system? If Professor Tanuja Nesri, ma'am, if you can kindly respond on that, ma'am.
Ravi, I'm not sure whether she's still there because she had come out of a meeting with the Australian delegation only for this webinar.
Okay.
May I answer
Okay.
this question?
Yes,
Most
yes,
welcome,
please, sir.
most welcome, Dr. Rajiv Rai. Most
So
welcome.
who has asked this question?
Dr. Lingareddy Birdar.
Yeah,
Madam is
what
also
was
there.
the
Ma'am is
question?
back.
Oh,
Yeah, she's back.
ma'am is back again, so we will welcome the answer from the ma'am only.
Ma'am,
May I know that I was in between for a minute?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
sure.
distracted. What was the question? Can you
Ma'am,
reiterate?
yes, ma'am. The question is, what are the benefits of GCTM, as you have mentioned, to the Ayurveda education system?
Yes, this is also again very important question, because the GCTM having, there are many many best practices across the globe we are not aware, and where we stand, what is our status, that also we are not aware. So to bring the Ayush in the mainstream medicine, what exactly the roadmap we have to adopt? Because like in a pond, we are just swimming in our own pond, in our own comfort zone. But if we really, Ayush has to be benefited to the global, the humanity across the globe. If Ayush is to be promoted across the globe, what exactly is to be done? How the educational teaching pedagogies are to be adopted, what is required? When we understand based of each and every system, maybe I'll be able to know what I have to do further, and maybe I'll come to know where I am the best in my own system. The one simple example, WHO DG when visited to All India Institute in Balarog Vibhag, and when pediatric, and when he saw the cerebral palsy patient, he mentioned in his tweet also, I was not aware that how important this Ayush is providing holistic treatment for the treatment of the cerebral palsy. So I'm not aware how this holistic management, including Panchakarma, diet, lifestyle, and medicine, is really useful as a holistic and integrated care. So when WHO DG, he comes here and he knows a strength of Ayurveda. So the same is, we will able to know the strength of each system, and we will be able to communicate in a better way to across the globe. And that's how the education system will also be definitely be adopted as per the global standard.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, we have one more question from Dr. Sindhu Nair. He's asking, what about the pharmacovigilance aspect of the existing herbs and formulations? If you can please answer, ma'am.
It is also a very relevant question. I'm really happy to share that All India Institute of Ayurveda is the nodal center for the and serves as a national nodal center for the pharmacovigilance center, and under which there are already 73 centers and 6 peripheral intermediate centers, and then there are peripheral center, and this year it is targeted to reach to the 100 centers in India. So what this network does, and it is being coordinated by the drug cell in ministry, And this is again linked to the CRO center and Uppsala center in WHO. So there is if any adverse reaction is observed for say Tamrabhasma or Arogyavardhini, say in corner of the Maharashtra, if they just observe this patient reports in the prescribed format, that has to be communicated further directly to intermediate center or to national center. Then cause and effect causality assessment is being done, whether it is because of Arogyavardhini or it is because of the wrong use by the patient itself. He did not follow Pathyapati. So this causality assessment is being done. And if it is observed that yes, Arogyavardhini or Tamravasma, if not processed, there is Vamana or adverse reaction reported, then that is communicated even to the Uppsala. So pharmacovigilance really gives confidence not only to the consumer but to the industry, because why many people, many community public health, many people are not using, they are afraid of using Ayurveda medicine and formulation. They say that we know that this is traditional medicine, there is an effect, but they are not aware about the safety aspect of this. But if we bring on the whatever the label is there, and we say that all pitta persons having this much, they should use with caution. So why allopathy medicines, even they are very toxic, we know that many people are many medicines are chemicals and more toxic, but everything is very well displayed. What is the contraindication, what is the caution, what are the probable adverse effects, but we are not aware about the adverse effects, not measured, no assessment is done. If that is done for few medicines, if we write, people will have more confidence of using this. So pharmacovigilance program is very well conducted for last 2 years. It has picked up, and we have also introduced into the curriculum. So in every teaching hospital, this would be, but even if industry comes forward, so without having industry's name, we will have that safety data, because only not only quality and efficacy is important, safety is more important, and human safety after human administration is very important. This pharmacovigilance program gives us the data on the safety aspects of the medicinal plant.
Thank
Thank
you.
Do we have any
Thank
more
you.
questions, Ravi?
No, sir. We don't have any question, but we would like to ask Dr. Anurag Gupta and our co-chair if they have something to share with us or to ask Madam, please.
Dr. Joshi and Dr. Anurag Gupta.
Yeah, I am having one question. What I have already asked earlier, that in traditional system of medicine, while getting this COPP certification, we have to submit a declaration that our formulation does not contain any mineral ingredient. It is purely herbal. While in Ayurveda and Siddha and Unani system of medicine, there are several formulations, potent formulations, which are made from herbal and mineral components. So while it is allowed for pharmaceutical preparations, like for cup syrups, API can be used as well as ammonium chloride can be used. So why for this herbal formulations we can't use ammonium chloride in my cup syrup if I am going to get apply for COPP certification? So that is really that is really a challenge for herbal drug manufacturers, and we need to convince the authorities of WHO to accept such time-tested medicines where we are using herbal component as well as mineral component. So whether any initiative has been taken from ministry, that I would like to know.
That this aspect maybe we can take up with the drug cell of the DCC cell of the ministry, and maybe I will also join in taking it and pursuing it with you. Yeah, because this is to be sorted out at the ministry level and through DCGI. But I think lot of many things are being taken care. Even the drug and cosmetic and many amendments are also being done. So largely, and this is a good time that proactively we represent to the ministry so that an early action can be taken to communicate and for the suitable amendment also at an appropriate level. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Anurag Gupta, would you have any query?
No, I am not having any query, but I would like to congratulate that because of Madam, we have developed, opened many new windows for the GCTM because till date we are just thinking about the Ayurveda or Ayush. Madam has exponentially said that there are 173 systems around the globe, and it is the project to integrate all these systems into one system to get the better for the humanity. It would be good if Dr. Anup Thakur was also there and we can listen to him also.
Right, right. So I think ma'am has been very, very obliging in terms of answering all the questions today. And I know you've been through a very, very difficult schedule with the Australian delegation. I'm sure something positive is coming out all the way in Australia as well, as you must have met them. And of course, push the Ayush industry into that part of the continent. So thank you very much, ma'am. And now may I propose that Dr. Santosh Joshi may kindly give the vote of thanks. Dr. Santosh Joshi.
Yeah, it's really a great honor to me for me to represent this vote of thanks. Thanks to Madam for giving us this opportunity for briefing elaborately about this Global Center of Traditional Medicine. It's really a proud moment for all of us when we are having this center in India, and we are hopeful that in coming future we will take advantage and we will convince the authorities about our age-old proven traditional systems. Once again, thanks to all leadership team members, Rajiv Raiji for elaborating the need of means support what we require from ministry as well as from this global center of traditional medicine. Lot of things are there which has to be clarified in coming future, because we have to propagate this system of medicine throughout the world, and challenges are there. Efficacy is already proven, but we have to generate scientific evidences, and we are sure that now all the big companies, they are having approach to comply with international norms, because we have to means comply with the requirement of importing country. We have to definitely means encourage medical tourism, because if people who are unable to get the right therapy because of restrictions of endangered species or this herbo-mineral combination drugs, so they can visit India and they can take advantage of our traditional Unani and Ayurvedic system of medicines, and we can generate a lot of data, and their experiences can be compiled, and finally we can convince the international community that these drugs are very effective, and where the conventional medicines are not able to treat certain ailments, there we are having very good solutions. Like if I talk about this chronic liver diseases, we are having the best solution available with us. So we are having all potential and to go to global level. And once again, I would like to thank the PhD Chamber of Commerce for organizing such webinars, where a lot of information is being shared between all the stakeholders. And in coming future, the connectivity will get further strengthened, because now we are having both modes opened with this distant mode of virtual meetings, as well as we can have open meetings also in coming future. So with these words, thanks to once again to Dr. Tanuja Nesri Madam ji for attending today's webinar out of her busy schedule. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Santosh Joshi, for the formal vote of thanks. Let me, on behalf of the chamber, thank Dr. Rajiv Rai, Chair of the AYUSH Committee of PHDCCI, Dr. Santosh Joshi, Co-Chair of the AYUSH Committee of PHDCCI, Dr. Anurag Gupta, the man behind Baidyanath Ayurved for regulatory and other aspects. I would like to profusely thank Professor Tanuja Nesri, the Director for All India Institute of Ayurveda, one and only kind of his institute in the country under the aegis of Ministry of AYUSH, Government of India. Thanks a lot, madam, for being here today, and of course, making this webinar so enriched with information and knowledge that we are more enlightened on the importance of the WHO Global Center for Traditional Medicine for the growth of the AYUSH sector. So tremendous evening of learning, and I'd like to thank the man behind the webinar, Mr. Amit Patwal, my colleague, and Ravi Rathore, who's been also working behind the scenes to make this happen. And wishing you all a very pleasant evening ahead. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank you.